let's actually get into some of the races that you've had, I think there's like 24 total.
Yeah.
24 crowns, 19 horses. Again, we went over the back-to-back ones. Some of the ones that stick out, Foiled Again, Hannelore Hanover, those stick out as, great all-time wins. But I don't know if they're great for when you look at the whole thing. But I want to focus on you as your driving kind of aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that goes back all the way back to your first one with Southwind Serena. You put that horse in a perfect spot. And at that time, were you confident, because you hadn't won a Breeders' Crown yet? Was that the year that you finished second in the Meadowlands Pace with Times Are Changing?
No, that was 2004.
Okay, so that was even before that.
Yeah.
So you were kind of getting up there in confidence, right? You were young. You're a young guy. Now you're an old geezer. We're all old geezers. We got the young guys coming in. So with not winning a Breeders' Crown yet, did you feel confident at all, or kind of a little overwhelmed at some of these big races?
Well, not overwhelmed, and definitely not confident either. I didn't think I could win a Breeders' Crown with her that year, or anybody else actually in that year. I didn't think I had the right horses, but you go into those races and you just want to put them in the right spot and then try to see what happened. I just figure I'd try to get a good check, and if I get away up close, nobody left the gate, so I was able to get there pretty cheap, and you're just trying to put him in the right spot to make money. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line, and then I don't know.
Do you remember going into that race, hey, I gotta try to put her in a good spot, or you're behind the gate, you've got post 8, I think, and you're looking over and nobody's leaving, you're like, I guess I'm gonna leave. Was that?
No, her game was getting away up close and then just sit. You know what I mean? So game plan A was to leave. You know what I mean? But I really thought I was gonna have to go hard. You know what I mean? To be able, especially at 50-1, nobody's looking to put you in, so you're not half leaving. You know what I mean? You're going. You know what I mean? And then so my plan was to get her into the race, but then I was surprised when the gate opened. I was the only one leaving, and I'm like, man, this is not the way I thought it was gonna go. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty easy to get there. And then, crossed over, let Pampered Princess go, and then the rest is history, I guess.
And when you're in a horse against that, Pampered Princess she didn't win the Hamiltonian. She was in it, but you're I got to go against Pampered Princess. It's like, man, how do I manage this one? When you're in against a horse like that and you're not as good of a horse, are you trying to beat that horse, or are you just trying to be I see what happens?
Well, definitely not trying to beat her, because that's how you get yourself beat, especially when you're a horse like that. But on the flip side, going into the race, my mare was actually at a lot of speed, but she would just pull up a little bit. You just have to time that move just right. And when I crossed over, I just wanted to go as slow as we could. So number one, I could maybe finish second or third if mine wasn't so good. But Pampered Princess had a long season. She had raced against the boys in the AMBO. And I remember the last 16 was not her last strongest 16. I mean, she was always getting a little tired at the end at that time of the year. And I just said, if I can just time it just right, when she starts coming back to me, maybe Mike can go by her there. And obviously, it worked out perfectly that race. It never usually does work out that perfect. But I did think that if we're going really slow and then she still came back to me anyway, I'd have a shot, and it worked out good.
And that was one of those things that listen, 99 out of 100 times, everybody hits the top of the stretch and they want to pull out. You sat, waited. To me, that's a masterclass stroke of waiting, knowing Pampered Princess. If there's a hole in her game, that's it. The last 16. So why am I going to attack her when she's still at her strongest? Yeah. Why not attack her when she's at her weakest? So to me, that was a masterclass.
Yeah, But I also knew mine at a native a mile. You know what I mean? So that's it's knowing both horses, and that's the key to I think in a race. You need to know your horse, but you also need the other ones. You know what I mean? Know their strength and their weakness, and know your horse's strength and weaknesses.